कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारे यमुना तीरा वनचारे यमुना तीरा वनचारे जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Dayamudirayed Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. We are reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 14, Text 37. Evam vitta vyavati sangha Vivruddha vairānubandhopi purvavāsaññamitha udvati athapavahati evam vitta vyati sanga vivruddha vairānubandhopi purvavāsaññamitha udvahati athapavahati evam vitta vyati sanga vivruddha vairānubandhopi purvavāsaññamitha udvahati athapavahati evam vitta vyati sanga vivruddha vairānubandhopi purvavāsaññamitha udvahati athapavahati evam vitta vyati sanga vivruddha vairānubandhopi purvavāsaññamitha udvati athapavahati. Any Matajis? Evam vitta vyati sanga vivruddha vairānubandhopi purvavāsaññamitha udvahati athapavahati. Word to word meaning? Please repeat after me. Evam, in this way. Vitta vyati shanga, because of monetary transactions. Vivruddha, increased. Vaira anubandha, having relationships of enmity. Api, although. Purvavāsañña, by the fructifying results of previous impious activities. Mithaha, with each other. Udvahati, become united by means of the marriage of sons and daughters. Atha, thereafter. Apavahati, they give up the marriage or get a divorce. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Although people may be enemies, in order to fulfill their desires again and again, they sometimes get married. Unfortunately, these marriages do not last very long, and the people involved are separated again by divorce or other means. Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai ki Jai. Purport. As stated previously, every conditioned soul has the propensity to cheat, even in marriage. Everywhere in this material world, one conditioned soul is envious of another. For the time being, people may remain friends, but eventually they become enemies again and fight over money. Sometimes they marry and then separate by divorce or other means. On the whole, unity is never permanent. Due to the cheating propensity, both parties always remain envious. Even in Krishna consciousness, separation and enmity takes place due to the prominence of material propensities. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadhamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Sri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat krupatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So today we'll reflect on a very deep and very practical verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 14th chapter, 37th sloka. In this verse, Sukadev Goswami describes something we see everywhere in the material world. People come together, sometimes even when they are practically enemies, and after some time they again separate. They may unite in marriage, in business, in family arrangements, and after some time they divorce, they quarrel, they go to court, and they stop speaking. Srila Prabhupada here is not simply criticizing the modern society here. In this purport, he is diagnosing the disease of material consciousness, especially envy and cheating propensity of the conditioned soul. He explains that even in marriage, there is a tendency to cheat, and therefore, unity in this material world can never be permanent when it is based on selfishness. Let us try to look into some aspects of this. Why enemies unite? This verse uses the phrase Vitta Vyatisanga. Vitta means wealth or money, and Vyatisanga means close contact or entanglement. Because of money, because of possessions, and because of material interests, people become deeply entangled with one another. Sometimes enemies also unite. Why? Not because of genuine love, but because of shared material desire. If I stay with you, I will enjoy more. If we join our families, we will gain more. As long as I want something from you, there can be some apparent unity. It's not real unity. But as soon as that expectation is not fulfilled, that same so-called apparent unity can turn into a bitter conflict. So, Krishna explains the root of this in Bhagavad Gita 3.37. He says, Kamayesha, Krodhayesha, Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. He says, it is lust only which later transforms into anger, born of the mood of passion. It is all that devouring sinful enemy of this world. That is what he says. What is lust? Lust means the desire for personal enjoyment. And when that desire is satisfied, we call it love. And when that same desire is frustrated, we call it anger, hatred, breakup, or divorce. So the Bhagavatam says, in this particular verse, Mitha Udavahati, meaning people unite, they marry, and they form alliances. Afterwards, what happens? Atha apavahati, and later they separate by divorce, by court cases, by cold wars. This is the cycle of material relationships when they are driven by selfish desire. And one more point is also mentioned in this verse, that is old conditioning. Purva Vasana is what is stated in the verse. What is Purva Vasana? Because of our previous impressions, previous conditioning, that is of previous conditioning. Even when two people say, now I will change, this time I will be totally different, the old nature returns if the heart is not purified. In Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, Lord Krishna described how the conditional soul carries its mentality from one body to another. He says the living entity taking one kind of body again quits and it obtains another, just like the air carrying aroma. So the mind, with all its desires, fears, and habits, it travels with us. So what we see in marriage, in family life, is not starting from zero. Old envy, old competition, old selfishness, old hurts, everything comes forward again. So marriage does not automatically remove envy. Time passing does not automatically purify the heart. Education and culture alone can erase our selfishness. Only bhakti, devotional service to Lord Krishna, actually cleanses the heart of these deep-rooted vasanas. That is why we see people know that anger is bad. People know that greed is bad. They know that divorce is painful. still the same pattern repeats because the root is inside, in the subtle body. And let us try to see why material the unity never lasts. If we see why does material unity again and again collapses? Because it is built not on service but on sense gratificatory plane. When enjoyment is the center, the relationship slowly transforms. Love becomes demand. If you love me, you should do this for me. Care becomes control. You must behave according to my desire. Cooperation becomes competition. I must prove that I am better, more successful, more important than you. This is what happens when enjoyment is at the center. Srila Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Instruction, text 1 describes 6 powerful urges. Vachovegam, manasa, krodha, jivha, udara, upashta. The urges of speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals. He says that someone who can control all these is fit to be a guru for the entire world. But if these urges are uncontrolled, what happens? They destroy relationships. Uncontrolled speech, harsh words, criticism, sarcasm, gossip. What happens? All these tendencies break trust. Uncontrolled anger, shouting, violence, silent punishments, all this, what does this do? This creates fear and distance. Uncontrolled senses, especially the genitals, this leads to infidelity, engaging in pornography, and constant dissatisfaction. So, when the center is my enjoyment and the senses are uncontrolled, unity can never last long. Even if the marriage remains externally, internally there is a lot of distance between wife and husband. Bhagavatam simply makes that principle very, very clear. Unity based on lust is temporary. Only unity based on service can be very much steady. Now, what is the real problem? What is the philosophical root of all this whole problem? It is false ownership. Sri Isopanishad, Mantra 1 gives the correct starting point. Isavasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. Everything within the universe is owned and controlled by the Lord. So, real life begins when we accept nothing is mine, everything belongs to Krishna. But material life is quite opposite that. My spouse, my children, my money, my property, my respect, my happiness, this is what is the material life. As soon as my becomes very strong, then anyone who seems to threaten this my area becomes my enemy. If my spouse does not behave according to my expectations, anger appears. If my child chooses a different path than what I have chosen for him, frustration appears. If my brother touches my property, litigation appears. So, Brahma Samhita, the first verse gives us the proper vision. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is the supreme controller. Everyone else, including us, is subordinate. So when we forget that Krishna is the controller and proprietor, we compete with each other by tiny control, so-called tiny control. We feel that we have ultimate control, but that is tiny control over house, over money, over possessions, over decisions, all that. Then even marriage, which is meant to be a cooperative ashrama for spiritual advancement, becomes a battlefield of egos. So, here in this verse is not describing external drivers or quarrel. This verse is tracing it back to inner proprietorship and forgetfulness of Krishna as the real center. That is what this verse is attempting. And what does the real love looks like? One question after hearing, all this, one question may pop up in our mind. What is real love? What does a genuine Krishna-centered relationship looks like? Srila Rupa Goswami answers this in the Nectar of Instruction, text 4 and 6, where he describes Preeti Lakshanam, the symptoms of real loving exchanges between devotees. He lists 6 kinds of exchanges: Dadhati Pratigrinnati, Guhyam Akyati Pruchati, Bhunkte Bhojayate Chaiva, Shadvidham Preeti Lakshanam. Dadhati Pratigrinnati, giving gifts and accepting gifts. Guhyam Akyati Pruchati, revealing one's mind in confidence and inquiring confidentially. Bhunkte Bhojayate Chaiva, offering prasadam and accepting prasadam. If we notice, all these 6 are present in each and every relationship: family, friendship, community. But one crucial point must be understood. These exchanges must be free from material motive. If I give you a gift to control you, that is not love. That is diplomacy. If I share my heart to manipulate your emotions, that is not trust. That is exploitation. If I feed you prasadam so that you can obey me, that is not devotion. That is business. Real preeti means I give, I listen, I share, I feed. What's the desire? Desire to help your spiritual welfare, to please Krishna, not to increase my separate enjoyment. So, Rupa Goswami is showing the positive side. Bhagavatam is warning material relationships based on selfish realizations, selfish desires for that matter, they will end in separation. Nectar of Instruction is teaching us transform these relationships into spiritual ones by centering them on Krishna and practicing pure loving exchanges. In other words, the same husband and wife, the same parents and children, the same friends, when they change the center from enjoyment to service, their whole experience of relationship changes a lot. Srila Prabhupada is warning here, uh, even among devotees. In the purport to this verse, Srila Prabhupada makes a very honest statement. He says that even in Krishna consciousness, separation and enmity can take place if material propensities remain strong. Simply putting on tilaka or moving into a temple or serving in a temple does not automatically remove our envy. Brahma Samhita, 54th verse, explains that everyone in this world, from the tiny insect up to Lord Indra, is bound by his own karma. Yastvindra Madhavendra Mahushva Karma Bandhanurupa Phalabhajanamathanoti Karmani Nirdhati Kintu Cha Bhakti Bhajam Govindamadi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. See, we are all bound by our own karma unless we are fully engaged in devotional service to Krishna. So, past karmic tendencies and material desires do not vanish overnight. Therefore, bhakti must be preserved and protected by humility, introspection, and service attitude. When conflict appears among devotees, it is actually Krishna's arrangement to show us there is still some ego left in us. There is still some envy. Now purify it. That is what Lord Krishna is indicating to the devotees, all of us. If instead of blaming others, we take it as an opportunity to deepen humility and dependence on Krishna, then even conflict becomes a step towards maturity. There is one English proverb which says, better to light a candle than cursing the darkness. So, instead of commenting others, instead of blaspheming others, let us look into our own self. Let us feel that there is a lot of envy, a lot of ego is still there in me. Let me correct myself. So this verse is also a gentle warning to the devotional community. Do not be proud. Do not think we are devotees, so we are beyond envy. Be cautious, be humble, and keep purifying the heart. So, finally, where do we find real lasting unity? Only at one point, that is in Krishna. Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 27th shloka, Lord Krishna says, Yat karosi, yad asnasi, yad juhosi, dadasi yat. Whatever we do, whatever we eat, whatever we offer or give away, whatever austerity we perform, do that as an offering to Lord Krishna. When this principle enters into our relationships, everything becomes transformed. Marriages become a partnership in service. How can we together serve Krishna and help each other go back home, back to Godhead? This will be the mood of um, the partners. Friendship becomes very sacred. We are walking together on the path of bhakti, is what friends think. And community becomes very, very peaceful. Each person has a service. I do not need to compete. So, as Prabhupada said, we all need to cooperate. So, without Krishna in the center, even enemies can marry if it suits their desire. How often we see the political parties, they blaspheme each other, they mudsling, and then they form alliances. Once again, they break. Even close relatives can become enemies when desires clash. But when Krishna is in the center, former enemies can become very good God brothers and God sisters. Very different people can live together happily in one temple or one home because the goal is one. So, this Bhagavatam verse is not pessimistic. It is realistic and hopeful, very, very hopeful. It is telling us, do not be cheated again and again by material promises of happily ever after without Krishna. So, what we need to do? We need to place Krishna in the center and then build, or I would say rebuild our relationships around Lord Krishna. So, to conclude, the message of Srimad Bhagavatam can be summarized in 2 lines. Material unity is temporary because it is based on desire. I want to enjoy through you. And spiritual unity is very stable because it is based on service. Let us together serve Krishna. So, let us therefore, all of us, purify our intentions through sincere chanting and hearing. Practice Priti Lakshanam, pure loving exchanges without any selfish motives. See everything and everyone belonging to Krishna as taught in Isopanishad. Keep Krishna firmly at the center of our relationships. Family, friendships, community is what we discussed. Then our unity will not be a temporary arrangement of this material world. It will become a doorway to eternal, service-centered, loving exchanges in Krishna consciousness. Let us therefore combinedly pray at the lotus feet of Sri Shukadeva Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, and the entire Vaishnava Parampara, that our hearts may be cleansed of envy and cheating propensities, that our homes may become temples, and that all our relationships may be centered around pleasing Lord Krishna. These are some of my understandings about this. If you have any comments, suggestions, or thoughts about this, you are welcome. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nice class, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu, for making it simplified and clarified that we should lead the life, whatever it may be, relations or anything. It should not be self-centered. It should be Krishna-centered. Thank you for that. Hare Krishna.
More often than not, we acquire a lot of knowledge. It's a time for us to practice the Preeti Lakshanam, loving exchanges between devotees.
Application also.
Yeah, application is
Only
very
just
important.
learning, and not applying. Our life will be finished with learning only, not applying.
Yeah.
That is going on. So thank you for the practical experience. Thank you, Bhaji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So thank you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Brind ki jai. Shri Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.